Best horror movies of all time. Looking for the best horror movies? If yes, then we are here to help you. We have assembled the best horror movies that will keep shocking suspense and horror fans screaming and cheering. Horror movies are a form of cinema entertainment, and here are some of the best of all time. Number 1, The Exorcist, 1973. Our first pick for the most horror movie is The Exorcist, 1973. This American supernatural scary movie is written by William Peter Blatty and directed by William Friedkin. This story is based on the same name novel. The film has grossed over $441.3 million across the world on a budget of $12 million. There are numerous horror movies to watch, but The Exorcist is maybe the scariest one of all time. The film is based on real events. When young royal Linda Blair starts acting weird, speaking in different languages, levitating, her stressed mother looks for the doctor just to hit the dead end. A neighborhood cleric nonetheless thinks the young lady might be seized by the devil. The cleric makes a solicitation to perform an expulsion, and the congregation sends in a specialist to assist with the hard job. Number 2, Friday the 13th, 1980. Friday the 13th is a very interesting horror movie written by Mark Swift and Damien Shannon. Directed by Marcus Nispel, its outstanding soundtrack was composed by Harry Manfredini. The film is remarkable for being the first movie in one of the most famous horror movie franchises in recent years. This film is a reboot of the Friday the 13th franchise, which started in 1980. Due to the direction and performance of the cast, the film received great praise from critics as well as the audience. The film has grossed over $92.7 million across the world on a budget of $19 million. In this story, the group of college friends plan to go to Camp Crystal Lake to restart the summer camp after many years of failed attempts, but they all have no idea about the little boy who drowned there due to the counselor's carelessness. The boy who was drowned is Jason Voorhees, and there is somebody who tries to take revenge for that boy's death on his birthday, which is Friday the 13th. And the unsuspecting youngsters are his target. Number 3, Alien 1979. Alien is a science fiction scary movie written by Dan O'Bannon and directed by Ridley Scott. The film was premiered on September 6, 1979, and the film had included some of the best stars like Sigourney Weaver, Tom Skerritt, Harry Dean Stanton, Veronica Cartwright, John Hurt, Yaphet Kotto, and Ian Holm. The movie has grossed over $106.3 million across the world on a budget of $11 million. In profound space, the group of the business starship Nostromo is awakened from their cryo-rest capsules, partially through their journey home to explore a stressful call from an alien vessel. The extreme fear starts when the team experiences a nest of eggs inside the alien ship. An organism from inside an egg jumps out and appends itself to one of the group, making him fall into a state of insensibility. Number 4, Jaws 1975. Jaws is the most thriller horror movie directed by Steven Spielberg. The film is based on the same name novel 1974 by Peter Benchley. The film won many awards for its editing and music. In 1977, Jaws was the highest grossing movie until the release of Star Wars. It has earned $472 million worldwide on a budget of $9 million. This film is comparable as more exciting as it's scary. There is no doubt the film still survives and is most watchable after 47 years. When a young lady is badly killed by a shark while plunging close to the New England traveler town of Amity Island, police Martin Brody needs to close the seashores. Yet Civic Chairman Larry Vaughn overrules him, expecting that the loss of travelers' revenue will injure the town. Ichthyologist Matt Hooper and grizzled boat commander Quint propose to help Brody with catching the executioner monster, and the three take part in a massive battle of nature against man. Number 5, Black Christmas 1974. Black Christmas is like a truly terrible Christmas-themed scary movie. Written by Takal and April Wolfe and directed by Sofia Takal, the film was theatrically released on December 13, 2019 by Universal Pictures. This horror story has grossed over $18 million across the world on a budget of $5 million. The story tells The story is about scary things that happen in Bedford's college town. In that college town, an unwanted visitor comes during the Christmas celebration. As a family member of sorority house Pi Kappa Sigma planned for the festive celebration, a stranger knocks on the door. This all begins from dirty phone calls and then turns into a psychopathic madness. One by one, somebody's killing the family members, and the police try to trace the obscene call and they realize that everything is like Black Christmas. Number 6. Us, 2019. Us is also an outstanding horror movie directed and written by Jordan Peele. Us is one of the horror films that comes with suspense to pour extra terrible things into the track. There is a great cast like Winston Duke, Lupita Nyong'o, Tim Heidecker, and Elizabeth Moss. It is based on Adelaide Wilson and her family who are attacked by a group of threatening doppelgangers. With great success, Us has earned $255.2 million across the world on a budget of $20 million. With her partner, daughter, and son, Adelaide Wilson gets back to the oceanfront home where she grew up as a kid. Haunted by a horrible experience from the past, Wilson worried about something wrong to happen. Her bad fears soon happen in real life when 4 veiled scary strangers drop upon the home, forcing Adelaide into a battle for survival. At that point, when the veil falls off, the family is shocked to discover that every assailant takes the appearance of one of them. Number 7. Rosemary's Baby, 1968. Rosemary's Baby is one of the classiest psychological horror movies ever made. Directed and written by Roman Polanski, this film was released in June 1968 by Paramount Pictures. It received almost universal acclaim from movie critics and won various nominations and awards. The movie has grossed over $33.4 million across the world on a budget of $3.2 million. The film is about a young lady who believes that her children are not part of this world. Waifish Rosemary Woodhouse and her battling entertainer partner Guy move to a New York City apartment with an unpropitious reputation and strange neighbors, Roman and Minnie Castevet. When the Rosemary becomes pregnant, she becomes very different and the demonic truth is uncovered solely after Rosemary gives birth. Number 8. Hereditary, 2018. Hereditary is marked as one of the scariest movies in the year 2018. This wonderful psychological horror movie was directed and written by Ari Aster. Hereditary was released on June 8, 2018. This horror story has earned $80 million across the world on a budget of $10 million. When Ellen, the mother of the Graham family, dies, her young daughter's family starts to unravel the mysteries and growing horrors, top secrets of their lineage. The more they search, the more they try to get ahead of the terrible fate they have inherited. In this film, the director Ari Aster shows a terrifying vision of domestic disintegration that exhibits the art and accuracy of a good writer, transforming family tragedy into ominous and serious troubling and pushing the scary movie into new terrain. Number 9. Dawn of the Dead, 1979. Another film which is the most horror is Dawn of the Dead, released in 1978. Dawn of the Dead is a horror movie produced by Richard P. Rubenstein and directed and written and edited by George A. Romero. Dawn of the Dead gets ideas from the Night of the Living Dead and expands and investigates them completely. It's likewise much more fun and busy more in which satisfaction than its predecessor. It's likewise much more fun and busy in which satisfaction than its predecessor, which is more worried about investigating the utter tragedy of human defeat. Your top choice may differ from these two, but our choice is Dawn of the Dead, which is the best zombie film ever made. The film is unceasingly rewatchable. Number 10. Suspiria, 1977. Suspiria is one of the most important supernatural horror movies a horror film director could watch. It shows how scary and creative you can get within the horror film while still delivering on chills. It is directed by Luca Guadagnino with a screenplay by David Kajganik. The film was premiered on November 2nd, 2018. In this film, youthful dancer Susie Bannion comes to Berlin in the 1970s to audition for the world-famous Helena Marcos dance company. When she enters the role of lead dancer, the lady she replaces breaks down and blames the organization's female directors of black magic. Meanwhile, a curious psychiatrist and board member reveal dark and frightening secrets while exploring the hidden underground room of the studio. Number 11. Poltergeist, 1982. Poltergeist is a supernatural horror film which is directed by one of the best horror filmmakers, Tobe Hooper, and written by Mark Victor, Steven Spielberg, and Michael Graw. This American scary movie features a great cast including Craig T. Nelson, Jabeth Williams, Beatrice Straight, and Heather O'Rourke. The film was released on June 4, 1982 by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Poltergeist has earned great commercial success. It is the 18th highest grossing movie of 1982. While a normal family lives with a good neighbor, Carol Ann and the young daughter of the family seems to be associating with the miraculous through a dead channel on the TV. It isn't for long that the strange creatures start entering the house's walls. While initially seeming like non-dangerous ghosts, they play tricks and entertain the family. Then they take a dreadful turn. They appall the family ridiculously with irate trees and lethal dolls, and lastly kidnap Carol into her own room closet. Number 12. Ready or Not, 2019. Full of great artists and some horror scenes, Matt Bettinelli opens and Tyler Gillett's Ready or Not is one of the best horror movies of all time. The tale is written by R. Christopher Murphy and Guy Busick. The film premiered on July 27, 2019 at the Fantasia International Film Festival. With lots of good reviews, Ready or Not has grossed over $57 million worldwide on a budget of $6 million. The story is based on a newlywed young lady when she joins her new husband's wealthy, screwy family in a tradition that turns into a deadly game with everybody battling for their survival. Number 13. Goosebumps 2015. Let's come to another horror film, which is Goosebumps. Goosebumps is also one of the best comedy horror movies written by Darren Lemke and directed by Rob Letterman, from a story by Larry Karaszewski and Scott Alexander. The film is based on the children's book series Goosebumps by R.L. Stine. The film has included some of the great stars like Dylan Minnette, Jack Black, Odeya Rush, Halston Sage, Ryan Lee, and Amy Ryan. In this film, upset about moving from a large city to a small village, Zach Cooper gets a silver lining when he saw the pretty girl Hannah. Zach was shocked to get that Hannah's mysterious dad is R.L. Stine, the well-known author of the Goosebumps series. Number 14. The Evil Dead 1981. The Evil Dead is a 1981's black supernatural comedy horror movie. The film was directed and written by Sam Raimi, filmed by Tim Philo. The Evil Dead got two sequels, Army of the Darkness and Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. It also came with a remake in 2013. It has grossed over $29.4 million across the world on a budget of $375,000. The special effects for both the creatures and gore and outstanding soundtrack helped this film to get more popular. In The Evil Dead, Ashley Williams, his girlfriend, and three friends walk into the woods to a cabin for a vacation. They get an audio tape and book that unleashes sinful once their chants are read out loud. The group of friends is scared and finds themselves helpless to finish the evil as he destroys them one by one. In the end, one guy saves his life from evil and hopes to stay alive until the next day morning. Number 15. It Follows 2015. Let us go to the next horror film, which is It Follows. This is a supernatural scary movie directed and written by David Robert Mitchell. The tale is based on a young girl named Jane who is chased by a supernatural entity after a sexual experience. With great commercial success, the film grossed over $23.3 million against a production budget of $1.3 million. In this film, the pretty girl Jay, when first time sleeps with her boyfriend Yu, notes that she is the most recent recipient deadly curse that is passed from one victim to another through sexual connections. The young girl finds herself in the unavoidable sense that someone is following her. As the risk closes in, Jay and her buddy must somehow get away from the fears that are only some steps behind. Number 17. The Lost Boys 1987. The Lost Boys 1987 creative vampire movie, the American comedy Scary Movie is directed by Joel Schumacher, produced by Harvey Bernhard. The Lost Boys introduced the world to the concept of the sexy vampire. With a huge popularity, The Lost Boys grossed $32 million worldwide against an $8.5 million budget. Because of financial woes, a divorcee named Lucy prepared her two teenage sons, Sam and Michael, to move in with her to a small village in Santa Carla, California. Once they reach there, the younger Sam hears rumors about a vampire infestation taking over the village. Sam does not trust the rumors until Michael meets a pretty girl at the local amusement park. After meeting the beautiful girl and her friends, Michael starts to show all the definitive signs of vampirism. Fearing for his self-security, Sam hires two young vampire huntsmen to assist discover the main vampire and demolish him before it's too late.